guys, welcome back to Clockwork Danger Needles for another breakdown of Made in Abyss Season 2, Episode 6. We are halfway through the season. That also means that it's halfway through the entire anime season of summer. The midway review is coming your way this week. I have all of my OPs, EDs lined up now. I'm almost ready to talk to you guys about what my top 3 anime are in general. And that should be recorded tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to have it released tomorrow because I think Summertime Render is tomorrow. At some point this week, I'm going to bring that to you where I'll crown top 3 OPs, EDs of the season. How am I finding the summer 2022 period so far? What animes are shocking me? What animes aren't doing as much as I thought they would? If you're not subscribed already, make sure you give that subscribe button a little bit of love because we are aiming to hit 1k of subscribers. Can you guys help me out? I would love to hit that marker so we can start doing live streams. We can start talking about things, weekly features, which would be fun. Lots of things that I have planned for the channel. Let's get going with Kaja saving the day. Do wonder which you would have picked. I have a feeling she might have picked the legs. I think she was honing in on the idea that Reg could probably carry her around. It's not ideal, but as you said, I can't think of any internal organs that I can really live without. I guess you can live without your spleen or your appendix. Maybe one kidney, one lung as well, but you're going to be severely impacted if that is the case. Riko would have done it. She would have traded anything for Nanachi. We need to respect Nanachi for now because she has made that decision. We need to understand exactly more about what has happened, and if we go away and come back, we might find a different solution by talking to other people, and that is exactly what happens. The luring this week is explained, and it doesn't seem as cultish as I initially was worried about. Because nobody can leave the village, they end up luring the prey to them, and it becomes this big giant village event. Let's talk about Prushka's new look. Prushka's new look is absolutely amazing. It looks way better than what it used to look like. It's gorgeous. I can't quite make out what it is, but it's two-toned. We've got the blacks coming in as well. The way that it was carved is a little bit disturbing because of what he says when he was doing it. It's a sexual experience for you, isn't it? Okay, let's just leave it at that. Not as scary as it used to be because we've got Ver as a translation guide now. It's very nice to be able to get rid of the language barrier and understand exactly what's going on. Riko is able to talk to a few more people this week. We're able to overcome the boundaries. We are also told that the third sage we finally get to see this week wasn't the initial third sage, and I have a feeling that was supposed to be Ver, and Ver ends up being locked away, so they had to find somebody else. Probably does mean that if the role ends up empty for any reason, if somebody dies or there's a gap, they just put somebody else into the role. I don't know what requirements they would have and how they pick who is going to be another sage, but it's very interesting to learn about that role and the fact that each of these sages, they all have their own personalities. The third sage is the one who wants to take on this beast, so that's the one which comes out, but we're also told that they can't use the ancient power. I have a feeling that Ver might be able to if she ever gets her hands on the sword. I think it's just said that they can't use the power because there's too many people on looking, which would also mean that there's probably never really going to be a chance to use it. It's a nice chance to see the entire village unite together to fight a common enemy, and I think that is why, even though the luring is dangerous and we see lots of people injured this week, work together and enrich the value of the town. It's definitely the most advanced place we've seen so far within the Abyss, even if it's not natural to the Abyss. So it wasn't a feature that originally belonged. It was set up by the 3 sages. Riko with the short hair. I love it. I absolutely love it. It looks amazing on her. She ended up trading with Kaja, and even Kaja with his change as well. Both of them evolving this week. It's a great pair up. He does somehow change back. It's a temporary change that he takes on. He's like a puppet, and I like that. It's great seeing them pair up. I'm very impressed that Riko is able to organise everything. She's able to observe a few things. So she observes that it floats, and she works out that the body must be really light, so therefore we might be able to burn it. She's able to quickly navigate around, talk to people and say, well, who can use fire? I need your help. Seeing everybody organise and come together, such a good sequence. Seeing them all work together. Ma selflessly protecting Riko. Thankfully is okay at the end, just took a bit more damage as well. It's such a nice act just to see everybody coming together for the one cause of trying to defeat a foe. It's a nice selfless sacrifice of Riko as well. She ends up giving up her hair for the good of the village. I was also wondering if a selfless sacrifice like this would be repaid in any way, but I guess whatever she got with Kaja is what her actual payment was. Prushka this week, showing us her true energy, what she actually is supposed to be able to do. Weird. From what I can see, it summons Reg. Reg has this white cover on all of his metals, so whether it's a shield or a protection, it's amazing, the power of the white whistle. True purpose, as it said. So the true purpose of Prushka is to summon and protect. She's love. Was such a happy character. She even became a heart, and initially, even though it is anatomically correct, a heart is still a heart. We associate the heart with love. To me, Prushka is a embodiment of love, and her being able to summon Reg is our friend, and we love and care for him. Him coming in to protect Rico, it couldn't have been any better. It's great seeing him kick butt. Kind of does that Marvel superhero pose as he comes slamming to the floor. He looks different. Everybody looks different. This is a week of changes. Everybody changes. Nanachi is sleeping right now, but I'm sure when she wakes up, Nanachi will probably have changed as a person, and hopefully Mitty is gonna be allowed to stay. But I also don't know how I feel about that, because we were told that Mitty was in a lot of pain. I still don't quite know how I feel about Mitty, even if she comes back. Purpose of the Luring. The Luring is a festival that is held despite its dangers. Nobody can leave the town. The idea of danger and value, all this fear that is instilled by seeing an enemy lured in and you've got to fight together. I think that is what the value is. The value of being able to feel these emotions. They can't go anywhere, so no one can seemingly come in and attack them, or if there is an attack, it must be very, very rare. Idea of these emotions like fear, they must value emotions as well. Precious value is probably love. They're all emotions with their own value content. Virtue ethics, certain virtues being seen as favourable, but I think if you look at somebody like Plato or Aristotle, one of these two, somebody said that the idea of excess, so you actually need bad things in moderation. Everything has to be done in moderation. Too much of a good thing is bad, too much of a bad thing is bad. If you have the right balance, it actually evens out quite nicely. It's just all of this village just reminds me of those lessons I took. How are we going to get Nanachi back? If possible, we might be able to get part of Fapata. So she is the embodiment of value. She's a very hairy character, so even just a bit of hair like Rico, they could all go through a nice shave together. Maybe something like that would be able to bring back Nanachi and Mitty. That would be interesting to see if that would work. Interesting to see if Reg can reason with her, because she seems to know him really down to his build and how he smells, every single part of him. There must be a way if he goes and talks to her, I don't remember this, I don't remember that, can you help? There must be a way to reason with his character. We do get some fun information from Vere this week, which gives us a bit of backstory. She was the survivor of the Suicide Squad who went out to go and look for the Golden City. She does state that she never had an audience with Fap. Once the transformation happened, she never spoke with her. Maybe that's when they put her away, they locked her up. I definitely feel confident that it was the young girl. She definitely travelled with the young girl, so she definitely had experience with her. I have a feeling her name wasn't Fapta at the start. There's also the person who she is speaking to, and I'm not sure who she's referring to. She definitely starts to talk to somebody, and were you the person who sent the kids, or were you the person who did this and this and this? There's somebody missing right now who she is referring to, and that could be the young girl who became Fapta, and she maybe doesn't know who Fapta is. Maybe she doesn't realise she turned into this person. She does also state that Reg could be an original resident of the Golden City. I think it makes sense that he's from down there. Initially, he was created by Fapta. She does also confirm something that I've been thinking of for a while, is how much time has passed. I have a feeling that this place is separate. It looks like Vere hasn't aged a day, even though I think a few hundred years have gone by. I have a feeling they went down, and the people they saw initially who gave them the kid in the first place, they might be distant descendants of whoever now lives at the top, all of Rico's people. I would like to hesitate a guess of a few hundred years maybe have passed. It was something that was bothering me. She looks pretty much the same. Her hair has grown, obviously. I can't say, oh yeah, that character's aged up by decades. I don't feel like she has. I can't wait to see next week. I have a feeling Reg is going to go and talk to Fapta. She might be hesitant, but I have a feeling she might also be able to tell us a bit more information about the town and how we're going to get Nanachi back. Don't know if Mitty should be left alive. I don't think they're going to go through the same ending of her life. Because we've already had one emotional scene with Reg ending her, I don't think they're going to do that again, because it's not going to have the same impact as the first time round. So I have a feeling that if they do somehow find a way of getting Nanachi and Mitty back, Mitty is going to be joining us on the journey now. I think that will be a permanent addition, but I don't know how I feel about that because we were told that she's constantly in pain. But we will see, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. I can't wait to see what next week holds. I hope you guys are having a great day and looking after yourselves. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye, guys.